What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by two things. Since we don't do any sponsorships here on the channel, I'll go ahead and show them out real quick. The first is my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound. And the second is a new podcast I just launched called Chasing Infinity. It is myself and ChatGPT as my AI co-host, and we talk about a wide range of topics in short form videos just like this one. So check it out. Links in the description below, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, we have a new proposal here, one coming in from the community, which I don't know, maybe my memory is all fuzzy, but I don't know the last time we saw something that came in from the community. This is actually somebody who is here and regularly watching and commenting on the channel, so shout out to you, International Travel Channel. Now, when I read this, no, actually, let me go through this first, then I'll give my thoughts. So this is a proposal to generate income streams for the DAO by adjusting the DEC burning allocation. So as the SPS DAO transitions to a system where it hires a Splinterlands company for developing card sets, promo cards, other in-game content, and potentially even employees, as we've seen in previous proposals, it is critical to ensure that the DAO maintains continuous income streams to sustain ongoing game development and operations. So the proposal overview is it suggests that the DAO take 50% from all DEC burnings from various sources such as market fees and the Wild Season Pass, and directly transfer them to the DAO treasury. The remaining 50% of DEC would continue to be burned, providing a balanced approach to DEC burning and DAO income generation. So, for example, Wild Season Pass costs 2,000 DEC. Instead of burning all of that, you take 1,000, send it over to the DAO, and burn the other half. So the rationale behind this, the idea of burning DEC is based on the principle that reducing token supply can increase value in the long run. DEC is a stable coin in the Splinterlands ecosystem, pegged to $1,000. Players often receive a discount when purchasing in-game items with DEC, as DEC currently trades at approximately 80% of its peg. So this provides a discount on purchases, making DEC a valuable asset. However, by reallocating part of the DEC that would otherwise be burned, we can lock that value into the DAO treasury, which serves a similar purpose by removing DEC from circulation while also providing funding for long-term growth. The balanced strategy that locks DEC in the DAO treasury would still limit circulating supply while allowing the DAO to generate income. This income could be reinvested into Splinterlands ecosystem, excuse me, I'm sorry, guys, for development, maintenance, and growth, ultimately benefiting the broader community. So supporting arguments, locking DEC in the DAO would help to raise the value over time. Sorry, not raise the value, but raise funds in the DAO. However, unlike a pure burn, it allows the DAO to accumulate assets. The Chaos Legion burn presale, as an example, during the Chaos Legion presale, vouchers were burned. I don't know, we're talking about vouchers here, but this didn't result in sustained value. Packs purchased during that period are now trading at 30 cents. All right, I'm not sure if I understand that one. Flexibility and adaptability. Theoretical models like the flywheel assume optimal market conditions, but in reality, we cannot always rely on ideal circumstances. Couldn't agree more. By securing a portion of DEC in the DAO, we can create a more resilient financial base. And then number 4, sustainability for the DAO and Splinterlands. By creating a consistent revenue stream, the DAO can ensure ongoing funding for Splinterlands projects and initiatives. This will foster a mutually beneficial relationship between the DAO and Splinterlands company. Okay, implementation, reallocation of the DEC burns, so 50% anywhere that it happens. Begin immediate income generation, and then monitoring and review to see how the DEC circulating supply comes, the DAO income goes, and then of course community sentiment. Potential concerns: liquidity locking. A portion of the DEC would be effectively locked in the DAO treasury, potentially reducing immediate market liquidity. Impact on burning goals. Some community members might argue that reducing the DEC burn percentage could delay the intended long-term benefits of supply reduction. However, since the DEC sent to the DAO will not be circulating, the overall impact of the DEC supply remains limited. So conclusion, by allocating that, okay, so I think we have a good idea here. So first of all, I just want to thank International Travel Channel for thinking outside the box. My first thought when reading this was I immediately went to this point right here, right? Impact on burning goals. That's going to be my major contention with this, and probably had this been a different place and time, I probably would have immediately said no, and that I wouldn't be supporting something like this. But considering where we're at from a financial standpoint, and considering the fact that the team has now gotten into the habit of taking DEC as payment from the DAO, I think one of the ways in which we can move forward as a compromise in something like this. And again, I don't know. I'm still figuring out how I feel about it in general, but I'm not immediately turning it down. I think that there's something here, mainly because if the compromise taken is that, okay, we delay the intended flywheel effect by ensuring that the DAO has assets available to it that it can avail of in order to try and add further value to the ecosystem. I can get behind that, right? I can get behind that in certain circumstances. Now, I don't think that this so much seems short term, which I hate thinking in short term time frames. But obviously, we are here on the cusp of what I think everybody is hoping is going to be a bull run in which asset values could potentially rise and get, whether it's the game ecosystem, the company, the player sentiment, all of that combined into a better position overall, financially and sentiment wise. I think that's what we're hoping for. I hate the fact that I keep saying this out loud. I said in the other video, but it's like I'm thinking short term because of that, and I don't like the fact that I'm thinking short term. But due to that, right? If this can get us into a situation where I agree with our RDK Media on this, I agree that yes, effectively locking it in the DAO at this point is the same thing as burning. I wish, like, if we could have gone back to the Rebellion one, I wish we could have just burned that entirely. But it has come in handy, right? Having the DEC in the DAO has come in handy because the team on 2 separate occasions has come in and said, we will take DEC. And while that recirculates things back into the ecosystem, at the same time, it doesn't raid the DAO of other assets that we shouldn't be getting rid of. So I don't know. It's a tricky situation, right? Because let's say for example, Rebellion had burned all 4,000 or the 2,000 DEC rather than locking it in the DAO. When the team had come around for the different proposals, would they have done that deal with the DAO for the Bitcoin halving event? Would they have done it for the Hall of Legends promo event? I don't know. Maybe they just would have sold the DEC at that point, or sold the cards for DEC and credits at that point, and then kept it as revenue rather than it being like this, thing that benefits the ecosystem. Would that have been better or worse? I don't know. If anything, I would say my guess would have been that it would have been worse, right? The sales would have been worse because people would have looked at it and said, oh, the team is just trying to, milk us for money. Whereas you look at the events and like the current Hall of Legends event, and you can say, well, right now it's DEC neutral, if anything, right? Or DEC positive in the sense where like we're burning more than what we recirculated back into the ecosystem. And if that helped the team and helped the ecosystem, then there is some like mutually beneficial compromise that happens there. It doesn't allow us to get to more burning right away, more and the flywheel action right away. But I would argue that this is not necessarily because of the DEC oversupply and the DEC, what's that called? The fact that we are recirculating DEC from the DAO. Yes, I mean 600 million is going to make an impact. But I think we've also seen a ridiculous amount of DEC get dumped into the market since March from the gladiators, from the LP proposals being turned off, and now from card burning, right? And there's a lot more cards that can be burned. I think that's having a larger impact than people realize. So, at this point in time, again, I'm not saying whether I'm for or against it yet. I'm just saying that I'm not against it. In the past, I would have been immediately against it because I think we need to be burning all DEC. But if we're in this kind of like compromise situation with the team where the team can accept DEC, it helps them. It doesn't take too much off of our backs, right? I mean, I guess, yes, it does delay the flywheel, but in a sense, if it helps to be a net positive for the ecosystem, meaning that it ends up burning more DEC than burning more or locking more DEC back up in the DAO than it essentially put in. Again, I think that there's an argument to be made here. So that's all I have on this. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. I'm sure people will be, feeling strongly about this one way or another. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.